Yeah, pretty accurate, to be honest. Here we go. Another good one here. Slawai versus Sadaya versus Aspipiai versus Yay versus Lawai. Alright. And I love the creativeness of this. And I'll have more to add about this as we roll into, what's your name again? Sniperwolf v Jack. All right.
Leave yourself in the comments below. I'll ignore all your favorites in the next episode of Slow.
Welcome back to the second episode of Stayai.
Bro, this guy's great. A spit pie. Hey, wait, let me make sure the quality is good for everybody. 720s max, damn.
Pokemon meme review.
Leave your entries in the subreddit PokeFans. And I'll watch submissions in the next episode as put up high.
Dang, okay. Yay.
Leave your answers in the comments below. I'll pick my favorites in the next episode of Yai.
Last week I asked you.
Leave
Yo, it's Pewds.
your entries in the subreddit pros. And I'll watch submissions in the next episode of Why.
Classic. Sub. Alright, this guy wants subs. Zoom in here. Ideal plays. And that's the title right there. That was pretty good. I love the creativity here and the bouncing around and evolution of memes and how everybody plays off of everybody's. Again, let's keep going here on Sniperwolf v Jack. Man, I'm pretty excited. Here we go. This is Jacksfilms. And this dude is doing Lawai.
Last week I asked you in a Yai how to keep PewDiePie at #1 most subscribed. Because bros, we are dangerously close to losing the #1 spot. It's
Ah, dude, I remember this. Dude, this was crazy. I was in college back then. Hey, and Jack impersonation of PewDiePie is spot on, dude. What the? Very, very talented, man. Let's keep going.
too close. Here are your answers. Make Happy Wheels 2. Of course, 300 IQ move. Parade around town yelling sub to Pewds like a cult. People will love that by believing at him, of course. It's over, Jack. Just go home. No, what a terrible attitude. We can still win this thing, damn it. He needs more.
Yo, and shout out to his acting here. His impersonation of Jack's impersonation of PewDiePie is so good. He's even got the chair here.
Fortnite Funnies compilations. Don't we all? Yeah, I live. Wait, shit. Ouch, my heart. Too real. It's the end. There is no rescue. Hey, cool attitude, Hannah. Oh, wait, no. We ask YouTube nicely. I've heard worse ideas. By buying today's sponsor. No, there's no sponsor today. I just want to help Pewds, you know? Elon Musk buys YouTube, then deletes T-Series. Of course. Or just delete every other channel. We don't. It's too late. Panic, run, the end is near. Great attitude, Kate, really nice. By listening to Kids Bop. Someone needs to make Bitch Lasagna Kids Bop version because if you don't, I will. You host the why.
He should, dude. unironically, bitch lasagna became fire. Like, it's fire. Over the years, it's held up. I listened to it very, very recently, and it holds up, man. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely go ahead and do that.
Felix hosts Yai. Seriously, Felix, think about it. All YouTubers must Fortnite dance simultaneously. Thanks, I hate it. And finally, we all just have to subscribe. It's easy. I agree. If you're not already subscribed to Pewds, maybe perhaps consider subscribing now. I sound like an old German professor. Leave your entries in this subreddit, bro.
Dang. Again, shout out to this guy, to Jack. He's incredibly talented. Let's move on. Oh yeah, that's right. I was pretty I stumbled across this, and that's what gave me the I was gonna stay quiet on this topic. I didn't want to say anything about it until I saw this post here from 4 years ago. I stumbled across it. Let me go ahead and read it, because I know I might be small. It says, Felix, please address this. Posted on the R PewDiePie submissions 4 years ago. Jacksfilms is still getting very hurtful comments on his Yay videos because they think he copied the Y from you. Jacksfilms, here we go. I'm so fucking tired. All from my latest videos. Okay, the Y greater than Yay. Okay, that's from YouTube Atlas. Rowan Prowse, stop copying PewDiePie. Okay. Okay, another guy here. Oh man, fuck you, little shit. You copied PewDiePie, you fucker. Damn, this guy's angry. Zax Creeperking. Interesting. Oh my gosh. Yeah, some of these are pretty bad. I hope you die, you an original bastard. Timmy is boss. Well, let's scroll down here a bit and see what they said. These are all literal 9-year-olds. This guy puts it up there. The Y was a copy of Yay. Research before you say anything. Okay. So some of these people are obviously just droning about nonsense, because if you see Jack, I know Jack is like an OG creator. I have much respect for him for that. And he's very talented. He deserves all his success. Very, very talented in many ways. So a lot of these people, they don't know what they're talking about. Okay, and so the guy from Reddit suggested about doing some research. So I went ahead and did that. Did a little bit of research, and by that I mean I put in the keywords PewDiePie and Lawai into Google search, and these are my findings. Let's go ahead and check them out. So the first one here is Lawai PewDiePie intro song. That's by Dave. Classic. Okay, let's go ahead and click that, and then we'll have a little bit of time to reminisce on the good old times. Oops.
Last week I asked you,
Leave your entries in the subreddit pros, and I'll watch submissions in the next episode of Why.
Nice. Another guy, Dave. I think everybody should know that. Alright, so let's go ahead and go into the PewDiePie wiki, actually, fandom. This is the first time I've ever legitly had to click on this link. I've known of his existence, but here we go. So, Lawai, standing for Last Week I Asked You from 2020, also known as LY, as in LWHY, is a series of YouTube videos on PewDiePie's channel. The series features PewDiePie asking his subscribers to create memes/funny images of topics relating to himself or other trends on his channel, like net neutrality or Doki Doki on the website Reddit. The series tended to replace Fridays with PewDiePie. Okay, another series. After it was discontinued in July 2017, as dang, it's been that long. As PewDiePie's possibly grown bored of doing other things for Fridays with PewDiePie and wanted to just revolve around Reddit. Alright, so it replaced Fridays with PewDiePie around 2017. The series started on June 2017, which ironically was considered an episode of Fridays with PewDiePie, along with the second episode. Actually, yeah, I remember this. I remember this very specifically. I watched these episodes back then. And back then, I didn't really watch, I didn't even consider myself a PewDiePie fan until much later. Until I realized how much of a master he was at this whole internet creating videos thing. He's a complete legend. Really, lots of respect for him. Anyways, back then I knew about him because who didn't? And I would check in on him from time to time, I guess you could say. And by that I mean like 6 months or a year or maybe even 2 years would pass between my check-ins. So, you know. But ever since the third episode, it was no longer considered Fridays with PewDiePie, but it's a separate series. However, in 2021, the Y rebranded to Fridays with PewDiePie. This series is a parody of Jacksfilms' Yay, Yesterday I Asked You. PewDiePie jokingly stated that he's angry about Jacksfilms copying his series. Yeah, I remember him joking about it, and it was because a lot of people were talking stuff that they didn't know again. So that's why we're doing a little bit of research. So anyways, so it seems that PewDiePie somehow got word that Jacksfilms, obviously PewDiePie knew about Jacksfilms, he's an OG. Again, we should actually check Jacksfilms. I have him over here. 2006 account, incredible. Alright, yeah, he deserves the success. Okay, so here we go. PewDiePie got word of Jacksfilms format of Yesterday I Asked You, and he wanted to do a half-assed version of it, kind of, weekly. So he changed it to Last Week I Asked You, and then it kind of took off on his own thing, as it's obvious from this paragraph here how it was considered part of an episode of Fridays with PewDiePie for the first two, and it wasn't until its third where it's really took off into its own series, own separate series. And this guy was aware of it, of course, and that's why he jokingly stated he's angry about Jack copying his series. Obviously, if you had a brain and could think things through, if you had a thinking hat basically, then you would kind of know what's going on. Let's keep moving here. Oh yeah, so this takes us to Master Penguin ZO, and I saw him post this. Let's see, Oct 21, where that's pretty recent, I guess. I guess it was today. So here we go. Let me start by saying I'm sorry for my recent actions. It is inexcusable. I am sorry to Jacksfilms, YouTube, the entire creator community. Well, your apology is accepted, and my incredible fans for not being a better example for appropriate conflict resolution. Okay, Jacksfilms, while we certainly don't see eye to eye and have our differences, I'm sorry for reacting the way I did, blah 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 blah. Kind of get the gist of it. Seems pretty standard. Seems like she's like apologizing. Seems like she's finally realized she's kind of in the wrong here.
Well, well, well.
No one needs an intro to this. If you want to see the source, you have the source. It's Master Charles here.
What a day. This was... Well, well, well. What a day. This was quite a shocking twist here, like a Darman climax. We had YouTube finally issue a statement on what they're doing about the Sniperwolf doxing situation, and we had Sniperwolf herself, the life of the party, come forward and make an apology post. And what a wacky ride it's been. And in the wise, timeless words of Captain Barbosa, you best start believing in cringe stories. You're in one. Because this is an absolute fucking headache. I know I don't really need to give you any kind of lore breakdown to bring you up to speed because of how huge this story's become, but it just doesn't feel right if I don't at least set the table with some
Right, and that's the reason I'm doing this at all, because everybody seems to be saying something about it, and most people are not original, and most people are just going with the PC route, and I don't like that. We have to use our thinking hats a little bit. So let's go ahead and get involved, get informed, and try to make a change, at least in one little corner of the world. Let's go ahead and keep going. Live.
silverware, just in case you're a little hungry and don't know what's going on. So, the briefest bullet points. Jacksfilms is a huge YouTuber. He called out another huge YouTuber named SniperWolf for her reaction content to TikToks where she was basically just blatantly stealing it, not really transforming it, and he criticized her for it. He even made a whole channel dedicated to making fun of her and criticizing
Okay, yeah, I saw that. I actually have a little bit of foreknowledge here. I saw that he did a whole channel where he did like daily uploads. I saw his. I think he talked about it. I think I saw Jacksfilms video actually, and he talked about it. He made a whole parody channel. He did a whole lot of work, so it really bothers him. You could tell because of all the effort all the trouble he's going through. So let's keep going. And before we do, actually, keep in mind what kind of person does that. Gonna come in big role later. Also, recall back his incredible talent singing songs, making impressions, being a film creator, man, being an incredible guy actually. So let's keep going on that. Keep those things in mind.
criticizing her for it further. So this led to this big stew of emotions and bad blood between the two of them. The stew bubbled over and started to spill when SniperWolf decided to dox Jacksfilms on her Instagram story where she showed up at his house and posted his house to her 5 million followers on Instagram, which obviously you can't do. That's a criminal act. SniperWolf shows up at Jacksfilms' door like the fucking hash-slinging slasher here, trick-or-treating when she wasn't invited, and claims that she was just trying to talk it out like adults, even though this is not how adults handle any kind of situation. You can't just dox someone that you have beef with online. So the question then became, what is YouTube going to do about it? Because not only is this not allowed legally, it's not allowed on YouTube's terms, period. And historically, YouTube has been cutthroat with this kind of thing. They do not take doxing lightly. So it's been about a week, and YouTube has finally broken their silence on what they plan to do. And man, what a fucking stinker. Boy howdy, it would be less smelly in a porta potty.
Damn. So it seems like this guy is definitely not happy about the response. Okay. So let's hear some more. What else do you have to say for?
Take a peek at their tweet here. Today they spat this drivel out.
This is from @YouTube team or Team YouTube, sorry. Whatever.
Confirming SniperWolf has received a temporary monetization suspension per creator responsibility policies. Off-platform actions that put others' personal safety at risk harm our community, and the behavior on both sides isn't what we want on YouTube. Hoping everyone helps move this convo to a better place.
So it seems like a pretty standard reaction. Let's take a look at that. October 20th, very recently. It looks like it was yesterday. Wow, it's a lot of views.
They actually just unironically dropped up both sides in this situation.
Which is smart as a company. Remember, they don't want to get too involved. They're a company. You have to take it from. I guess you could look at it from many sides, but take a look at it from their side.
That is one of those things where you read it and it's like a flashbang hits you, like all your senses go out and you have to question if what you just read was real. I don't even know how they were able to read.
I think the people that got that effect, they just had a lot of anticipation for the reaction. If you took it kind of more like me, how you were just, empathetic towards what's going on, like shitty situation and just waited for a response, man, I was chilling. Let's go ahead and keep going.
Reach deep enough in their ass to pull out a both sides statement for this one. Like, what did he do wrong? I don't know why they're trying to make it sound like he's also guilty in this, or maybe even, you know, somewhat responsible and to blame for how this played out, which is kind of how it reads, like they're fucking victim blaming him here. Like, what was his crime?
Does it really read like that? Confirming SSSniperWolf has received a temporary monetization suspension per creator responsibility policies. Off-platform actions that put others' personal safety at risk harm our community, and the behavior on both sides isn't what we want. No, it's not really mind-blowing, I would say. Hoping everyone... This is the line, the you know, the corporate line. Hoping everyone helps move this convo to a better place. Alright. Thanks, YouTube team. Alright, sorry, team YouTube.
That's a classic Charles Doza line. I just... Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? This is democracy manifest. That's a classic Charles Doza line. I just had to slide in there. That just felt natural.
That's good.
But yeah, again, what did Jacksfilms do wrong? He is completely
another man of many talents,
blameless
for sure.
here. There's no reason why they should be
Master.
trying to make it sound like Jacksfilms did something wrong. His only crime was being alive, which gave her the means to target him. Like, I really can't wrap my head around how they could even make it seem like Jacksfilms is even remotely in the wrong here. If they're trying to say that the criticisms that he keeps tossing towards Sniperwolf is...
Okay, I wouldn't say Jacksfilms is in the wrong, but you could say he approached it. Here we go. Here's my hot take, my fresh take. WHITEHATMARIO's fresh take. It was a bit childish. We'll talk some more about it.
Unwarranted, so the behavior is unacceptable, and that's even more delusional because there's nothing wrong with criticisms. There's nothing wrong with making fun of Sniperwolf's content. He has literally done nothing that warrants any level of blame or warrants this kind of response from Sniperwolf to fucking dox him and publicly dox him and show up to his house. This was YouTube's chance for a big W here to finally prove they don't play favorites even with their most lucrative cash cows. This is one of those actions where it...
Sure, that's like what would be like the best thing. They don't play favorites. They but it's the real world, bro. And honestly, YouTube's probably just trying to forget the situation already. They wanted to release that statement and then forget about it afterwards. Probably.
It should have resulted in a harsh punishment, and YouTube had the opportunity to showcase, listen, we're gonna put the rumors to bed once and for all. There's no favoritism on this platform. We all play by the same rules. We all, you know, put our pants on one leg at a time. Sniperwolf is getting punished for doxing. We don't take it lightly. But they didn't. They were extremely slow and very clearly extremely reluctant to take even the lightest bit of action against her. A temporary monetization suspension isn't the harshest punishment in the world.
It does seem like a slap on the wrist for the type of, for like the who it is, but also it's about what you expect. At least myself.
It is still a punishment, yes, but it's still more of like a slap on the wrist. We don't know how temporary it is. It could be like a fucking 10-hour monetary suspension. Like, this is actually the scene in SpongeBob. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Shuts the door. Okay, you're free to go. And it's like just 2 seconds has elapsed. It's just not really what most people would have expected from this, because it's not really enough for most people, given the gravity of the situation here, where Jacksfilms and his wife don't feel safe in their own home as a result of all of this. So this seems like a situation that they did just because they felt like they had to. There was too much backlash for them to continue to bury their head, so...
Exactly. It is a situation where they just did what they had to, what they expected, and the minimum, and they want to just forget about it. Let's hear some more.
They did like the teeniest, tiniest little tiptoe into the pool of punishment, and they issued this temp monetization halt on Sniperwolf's content. I imagine once all of this blows over, they'll flip it back on and it'll be back to business as usual for Sniperwolf and YouTube. I'm sure she'll RSVP at the next, creator summit for YouTube. Like, it's just not really satisfactory for the majority of people here. And to top it all off, it's the way YouTube delivers it. Again, trying the both sides thing is just, it's so crazy and delusional. Now, Sniperwolf did also issue an apology post. She couldn't even be bothered to do an apology video. She put it on Twitter, which is by far her least large platform, to try and keep as many eyes off of it as she can from her audience. So, at least as of right now, as of me making this, she hasn't made an apology video for her actual core audience to see.
And she probably won't make one. She has little reason to actually try to make one. She also just wants to put it behind her too. It's actually, I think, maybe what happened is that YouTube, the lawyers, and Sniperwolf, and probably whoever's taking care of her, they all just want to get it behind her, or get it behind them. Just put it past them. It's over. Let's keep doing our thing.
See, the timing of her apology statement is also very interesting because it comes almost immediately after YouTube's post. So this leads me to believe that Sniperwolf and YouTube had some kind of handshake agreement where it'll be like a light punishment as long as she makes an apology on Twitter, and she obliged. Let me start by saying I'm sorry for my most recent act.
So it looks like this is the whole. It looks like what I read was only about half of it. So let's hear the whole thing.
It is inexcusable. I'm sorry to Jacksfilms, YouTube, the entire creator community, and my incredible fans for not being a better example for appropriate conflict resolution. Jacksfilms, while we certainly don't see eye to eye and have our differences, I'm sorry for reacting the way I did when I should have taken the opportunity to show young creators how adults and professionals resolve conflict by communicating directly, respectfully, and privately. Not for views or content, but a meaningful example.
Not for views or content.
Of how conflict should be solved. I will reach out directly and hope we can find some time to connect and communicate respectfully. I'd also like to thank YouTube for holding me accountable. I deserve it. Respect the decision and appreciate the
Yeah, she's thanking YouTube for more than just that, actually.
opportunity to learn and grow from a true lapse in judgment. I don't really have too many thoughts on her apology.
I do. So, she said, this is the line I want to focus in on, is not for views or content. I hate saying it, guys, so whoever's invested on this, trigger, warning, alert. If you're too invested in this, you probably shouldn't hear my shit. But Sniperwolf doesn't seem like the smartest tool in the tool shed. And that's, I have a lot of respect for her. She's definitely more successful than me, probably even smarter than me. But I definitely think that there's some... She's not known for her smarts, I guess. But she is known for getting lots of views and content creation. So she probably just viewed this opportunity as that. And a lapse in judgment. She went ahead and did that. And then got a whole bunch of backlash. And then I do feel like Jack acted, as a man, acted a bit immaturely. Which segues well into the final segment, talking about young men. But anyways, back to this. Jack could have definitely handled things better. And honestly, I do expect better of him. I think very highly of him. And I think that the way he acted was a bit immature and childish, and he did blow this way out of proportion. I think he had a vendetta against this person. He is very talented, very creative. He's awesome. And Leah here, she's not. Sorry to say it, but she's really not. And so she does easier type of content. Kind of brain dead, some people would say. I would say more just family friendly, kid friendly. 7 to 12-year-old. I imagine a lot of her viewers are those ages. So, Jax could have acted a little bit better, and I'll roll into explain myself a little bit more and actually give some proof. Stick around, let's hear some more.
learn and grow from a true lapse in judgment. I don't really have too many
Lapse
thoughts on
in
her
judgment.
apology. Anytime I even hear the phrase or read the phrase lapse in judgment, I just immediately think of the Logan Paul apology video. But there's really nothing she can say here. What she's done is absolutely indefensible. It's also very unlikely that she's being genuine here. Like, I don't think she feels remorse for
Not remorse. I think she was just scared that she might lose this arrangement she's kind of fallen into. Because let's be honest, when she started, she was definitely not this type of creator slash personality. So she was very, very afraid because I'm sure her situation is very lucrative, not only for herself, but also her employers.
it or anything. She did immediately make light of it by saying, "We pull up to your house, what are you going to do?" on her Instagram story following all of this. So this really does seem like this was kind of forced on her by YouTube. Not even the backlash from her audience or everyone online. I think she still believes that what she did is okay. It's just YouTube made her do this.
No. Definitely not, Master Charles. She knows it's not okay. It was definitely a lapse in judgment. She was scared straight, in other words. I don't think she'd be doing anything like this ever again. And if she does, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
That's my working game theory here. That's the impression I get when she says thanks to YouTube for holding her accountable. That seems really fake. YouTube isn't really holding her accountable. Temporarily suspending her monetization is a punishment, sure, but it's not exactly one that fits the crime, which is why so many people are dissatisfied with the
And again, that's why I said that she's thinking YouTube, with that line, she's thinking YouTube in more than one way. You just have to learn to read between the lines, really. It's quite simple once you get a hang of it. Let's hear the rest of what Master's got to say.
this whole situation and the way that it's concluding here. Unfortunately, it does seem like this is where the situation is wrapping up, and I don't think a lesson has been learned by Sniperwolf nor by YouTube. I truly think that all of the backlash over the last week, the millions upon millions of people that have been talking about it nonstop, did not matter at all to either party. They just felt at some point, okay, fine, we'll do a little something so you guys can just shut up about it. And that's what we saw today. Pretty disappointing stuff overall. That's about it. So yeah.
I wouldn't say disappointed. It's about what is expected from Google. From, if you're into the stock market at all, if you read the reports, you really know where Google's heart really lies at. And I do think that it's about what is expected. It comes as no surprise if you have a couple of... Dude, I hate saying it, man. But if you have some common sense and a couple of working brain cells, too. Alright, Asmon, Master Asmon. So we heard Master Charles. Let's hear about Master Asmon opinion. Let's see if he's more on snipers, more on Jacks, more on Charles' side. I think Charles is more on Jacks. Or my side, I think I come in with a new, fresh take. Let's see whose side you're on.
Okay, we did get confirmation from YouTube.
Okay.
This literally just happened. So,
Alright.
This is in response to Jacksfilms making this tweet about Sniperwolf showing up at his house.
Everybody in chat saying temporary, rare YouTube W. Interesting.
And basically just being a deranged stalker. YouTube is responded to this right now, and this was, I guess, maybe about an hour ago. And they said this: confirming Sniperwolf has received a temporary monetization suspension per creator response.
Okay, again, I think this is a very, bland corporate response. Let's see what Master says about it.
That put others' personal safety at risk, harm our community, and the behavior on both sides.
Everybody in chat spamming temporary. Poor sniper, YouTube again. Okay.
What we
Rare
want
W.
on YouTube, hoping
Correct.
everyone helps move this convo to a better place. Okay.
Yeah, both sides. That's kind of what it is, corporate response.
Okay. I made a joke 4 years ago and my demonetization was permanent. Why am I being harshly punished
Oh shit. Harsh.
in this person? Sargon is right. Well, I mean, to be fair, Actman was also temporarily demonetized, and then he was remonetized. And now Actman is remonetized even now. I do think that this is probably not the extent of the W that people were looking for. I think a lot of people were hoping that Sniperwolf was just going to be completely deplatformed, deleted off of YouTube, and YouTube was going to, hold a celebration stream of deleting her channel. That's what I think a lot of
I think people are just trying to cancel her, man. And actually, I'm kind of glad that they didn't just fold again to the cancel culture, because that's not good.
people had wanted. However, I think this is at least good something is happening. It's performative demonetization. It's temporary. It's all performative. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret, okay? YouTube doesn't care.
So he might be on my sides here.
Do you think YouTube cares about what happened with Jack and Sniperwolf? No. They're totally irrelevant to YouTube. They don't even begin to matter. YouTube doesn't care about them. YouTube.
They do this. Okay, they care a little bit, as in they want to resolve this and get moving again, you know, back to the regularly scheduled programming, as they say. That's what they want.
YouTube doesn't care about their problems. The only reason why YouTube is acting on it is because YouTube is looking bad, and that's the same reason why Sargon got demonetized. Sargon does a lot of type of political content, and the odds are he could have said something that would make advertisers leave. So Sniperwolf went and she made a post about this. This is what she said on her Twitter. This literally just happened. Let me start by saying I'm sorry for my recent actions. It's inexcusable. I'm sorry to Jacksfilms, YouTube, the entire creator community, and my incredible fans for not being a better example of appropriate conflict resolution. Jacksfilms, while we certainly don't see eye to eye and have our differences, I'm sorry for reacting
Standard
the way I did.
stuff.
I should have taken the opportunity to show young creators how adults and professionals resolve conflicts by communicating directly, respectfully, and not privately, not for views or content, but in a meaningful example on how conflict should be solved. I will reach out directly, and I hope that we can find some time to connect and communicate respectfully. I'd also like to thank YouTube for holding me accountable. I deserve it. I respect the decision and appreciate the opportunity to learn and grow from a true lapse in judgment. I don't think this one's really particularly that bad. I think this one's pretty much fine. What do you guys think?
Right. Again, pretty much fine. The master sums it up in just a few words. It's as they say, the fool says nothing in a lot of words, while wise men say a lot in a few.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys think it's bad? I think this is fine.
Yep.
She took accountability for it. She said what she did wrong.
Well, actually, she knows what not to do, that's the thing. And she took accountability because YouTube advised her exactly what to do. So really, I think her lawyers and YouTube lawyers and everybody just hooked up and, again, want to put everything behind them. Let's hear some more.
She didn't make an excuse for it. She said she's not going to do it. She accepted the punishment. And she didn't try to blame anybody else. I feel like this is a pretty good apology. Now, you
Right, because one of the lawyers wrote it.
can dislike the apology. You can think that she's still a
Good
bitch.
point.
You can think that
Okay.
she's a terrible person. But I don't think that this is a bad apology. It's soulless and generic.
Yeah, so the people who expected more, that's the people who are gonna get triggered by this kind of response. Again, this is just corporate. Let's get our wheels back on the road, put money back in everybody's pockets, you know, put it past us. And then I'll kind of get into my thoughts on Jack and where he stands around this, because it kind of seems he drew the short end of the stick this time But yo, that's kind of the way it goes sometimes.
I've never read anything that Sniperwolf has ever written. Goated PR
Right.
team. If she had a
Yo, whoever said that goated PR team in the chat, goated to you, man. You are exactly the type of person that I like to hang out with.
PR team write the statement, she is still the one that's approving the statement. Even if she had ChatGPT write the statement, she is still the person who presses enter whenever it says tweet. She is saying this statement accurately reflects my feelings.
Okay. Okay, I hear what you're saying. I don't know about it, though.
I don't think it matters. Like, okay, so one thing you have to keep in mind, every apology you read on the internet was probably not written by the person who actually made the apology. It's either written by a PR team, written by AI, or a friend helped them write it. So, like, just get that out of your mind. Yeah, any of these video game apologies go through, like, 5 different PR teams. Like, yeah, that's just it. Everyone uses publicists or PR, yes. So,
well, yeah, and I think in this case, I'm very, very sure that the YouTube PR team, the YouTube lawyers, reached out to Sniperwolf directly and advised her exactly what to do. Yeah, the likelihood of that happening is through the roof.
this is not anything unique or special. Yeah, the PR.
So yeah, here we go. So I'm pretty sure Master Asmon's taking my side this time. He's not going Jack's side. He's not going YouTube Sniperwolf side too very much either. Going on the fresh take.
Team can also press enter on Twitter. Yes, but she has to give them the ability to make that decision. What's this here? She still needs to suffer actual consequences, though. A temporary demonetization is simply not enough. What do you think would be I think that Instagram should ban her account. I think Instagram should just like full stop ban her account without a question. She literally docks somebody on that platform. Like what happens on YouTube is not what happens. Like it didn't happen on YouTube. So like okay, fine, whatever. But like Instagram should permanently fucking ban her.
Okay.
I think that they open themselves
that
up to
might
some
be
form
fair.
of liability if they don't. Right? Like what happens whenever Jacksfilms has somebody else show up at his house? They try to attack.
So that really falls on Facebook/Instagram. I'm not gonna weigh too heavily on that. I'm more on the YouTube/ being good, being man, being right, being true to the right path side. And I think Asmon's really going on that side. So let's hear some more before we move on to Jack.
His house, and then he sues Instagram for providing a platform and harboring a person who they know for a fact is doxing him. So yeah, if something like that happens to Jacksfilms, I would be immediately suing Instagram, and that's why Instagram should act.
Yeah. Actually, that might fall on Jack too. If Jack wants to go keep pushing, if he hasn't gotten all his anger out yet, that's another way he could keep going, you know?
Isn't liability protected though by these platforms?
I got some more to say on
Only
that
to the
soon.
extent that they don't have knowledge of it. And I think it's pretty obvious that Instagram did have knowledge of this. But has he reported it to Instagram? I'm sure he probably has. Agree with Instagram ban. Would you ban someone from WoW for cheating in Final Fantasy 14? Off-platform penalties is dumb. I agree that off-platform penalties is dumb, but the reason why I think that it's acceptable in this case is that the reason why it happened, let's be honest, was on YouTube, and it was between two YouTube content creators. So a better example of this would be you have two people that are working at like rival companies, and they get in a fight off work hours at like a bar somewhere, and it was a fight that happened because of something that happened at work. I think that does involve those two companies that they work for. I think it does. The beef started on YouTube, that's why YouTube acted. Yes, and they are also part of the program. And also like the harassment policy that they have extends to off-platform behavior. And I think that to an extent it should. The viewers she gets from YouTube being used by a tool for a bad thing, sure. Did JJ get any repercussion from platforms? Jacksfilms? Why would he get any repercussion? I don't think so. Let's see here. So I'll read some comments here. YouTube did confirm this, so something did happen. This is good that YouTube did something. I will say this is more than what they did in the Quantum TV situation. Now, of course...
Right, at least they're doing something. That's another good point they're making here.
Quantum probably wasn't quite as bad as Sniperwolf because he did not physically show up at Actman's house, but at least YouTube did something. So let's see here. How is she doxing him? She did not release an address. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I go to your house, take a picture of it, and then I post it online and say, hey, this guy's a really bad dude, I'm pretty sure you'd want me to take it down too. Let's be a little bit more honest here, okay?
Right.
Let's see here. He had nothing wrong. Suspension should be permanent. Needs to be permanent. How long is she suspended for? I low-key want to stalk people. I need to know how much money it'll cost me. There we go. Elon Musk suspended journalists for Twitter. It was doxing, and he was crucified by mainstream media. If you don't see a double standard, yeah, again, I agreed with Elon Musk banning people for doxing. I totally agreed with that. And so, yes, totally think he was in the right for this. Give me 1 second here. I'll read the rest of the...
Yeah, you can't even say nothing against that. If it's their decision, you know. You're doxing someone, that's illegal. That's not cool. And if you could possibly get banned. If you don't get banned, well, lucky you. Don't do it again.
Jacksfilms has to move due to all this on YouTube. I'm not sure yet. If he does, he should definitely sue her and probably also sue Instagram for providing a platform for it and not taking action on it, which means that they are willfully allowing it on their platform. Only temporary. Move the permanent suspension of our channel and for future content. Stuff coming up about her grooming kids for YouTube videos is horrendous. I heard about that. That was very problematic as well. Let's see here. We put temporary in bold. Punishment does not remotely match the crime she committed. She did not commit a crime. Your favoritism and bias towards your money-making because creators is despicable. Should all be ashamed. She did not commit a crime. And if she did, it was not even on YouTube.
But yeah, okay, they're writing technicalities here. The point is that it's not cool. Like what was said earlier, if, you know, someone posts your picture online and some stuff goes down, you'd probably want them to take the picture of your house down.
Doxing is a crime. Doxing is not a crime in America, and that's where they both are. It is in California. Well, if that's the case, then yes, it is a crime, and he should pursue charges against her. Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm actually just learning this right now. So doxing is against the law in California? I've never heard this before. It falls under cyber stalking, yeah? Well, that's great. Had no idea. Isn't it public info? Well, it's like, I mean, again, like, it's like how people are using it. So yeah, that's great. That's a California W. Awesome. Yeah, I had no idea about that. And so, yeah, if that is the case, then this is a totally different conversation. It has to be intentional and lead to harassment. Yeah, which I'm sure Jack probably can.
Okay, that's enough. Move on to Jack here. So yeah, wow, Jack has an OG account. Original from 2006. Wow. This account's got, wow, 1.6 thousand videos. The channel's got 2.7 billion views overall. Okay, simple description here. Parodies, music, sketches. Yay, yesterday I asked you. Jack Douglas, you found my YouTube channel where I like to make fun of everything because I'm too scared to confront reality. Enjoy your stay, that's funny. Yeah, man. So, Jack, I don't have much negative to say about this guy. He's a great guy. But I do have something here. He's kind of handled the situation very poorly. He's been very vindictive, and he's kind of very talented and he's not letting other creators who are not so talented, who can't do content the way he does, do content. You know, they're just trying to have fun or whatever their reason for making content. And this is a prime example here. Take a look at his content here, his list of videos. Very varied. And I don't keep up with him too often, but I did see this one. This is the one where he talks about some of the stuff Sniper did to him. The war on content, stolen content. Hey, actually thinking back to PewDiePie's version of this last week, I asked you. I think this guy got triggered and scarred back then 4 years ago because he created the series. It got remixed to last week, I asked you, and done as a series, which started off as a joke series inside of PewDiePie's channel, and he blew up with it. It became way bigger than Jack's series, and maybe he's a little bit resentful for it. I'm not saying that's what really happened, but hey, he has been going on about stolen content. If you remember that tweet from the beginning of the video, he talks about how he is absolutely tired, and you know, he hates the situation that he's in after uploading that one video, all those comments he's getting, and I get it. He's receiving a lot of hate, dealing with a lot of stupid people, not doing research, telling him that he copied PewDiePie, so I'm sure that weighs heavily on him. But I think there's better ways to resolve this instead of becoming, I hate to say it, but like immature about it. And again, this guy's way more talented than I am. I can't do the half the stuff he does. I'm just out here. And I do want to watch just this quick video here. Just say you're sorry. And I got a quick thing to say about it.
Down.
Look at this. Description says, I learned ukulele just for this song. Well, as good as one can in a week. My fingers hurt. Dude, this guy's so talented. He learned ukulele in a week? Kidding me? You could give Sniperwolf like 4 months and she might be able to do what he does here in a week. This guy's just on another level. He needs to really take his blessings and run with them, and not try elevate himself and others, and not try to put others down because they're not as talented as he is.
Good girl, stay. This is for you, Chip.
All right, Chip.
No one else. Excuse me.
Classic.
Sorry for being a silly little guy. Sorry for thinking ducklings can fly. Sorry you took it personally. Sorry you don't understand comedy. I'm sorry, but I was so young then, only 33. I'm sorry that you're obsessed with me. Now, nobody's as bad as their worst mistake. Nobody's as good as the claims they make. Nobody's got a heart that you can't break. But when you double down, you're bound to come off rude, and that's hard to undo.
Yeah.
So say you're sorry and the world will move on. I'm sorry for uploading, giving birth in slow-mo. I'm
Whoa.
sorry that it bothers you so much, bro. I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry you feel butthurt, you little baby. I'm sorry, but your kids approached me. I'm sorry, is what my team told me to say. When you double down, you're bound to come off rude, and that's hard to undo. So say you're sorry. Oh, all you gotta do is say you're sorry. Just say you're sorry and the world will move on.
But that's not true. If you say you're sorry, they won't move on. They won't move on. People are gonna keep fucking prodding, yo. So you have to be very oriented to respond correctly to these kind of situations, and it's tough. It really is. And I'm glad that YouTube approached Sniperwolf and helped her get through the situation and try to put all this past behind them. And again, Jacksfilms an incredible guy here. Incredible history.
2017.
Can't say anything bad about this guy. He's an OG. 2006. 4.93 mil subs. Crazy. Because I'm too scared to confront reality. Enjoy your stay. Maybe that points towards something. I'm not sure. But I do want to say that Jack drew the short end of the stick. He's gonna have to deal with it. He's on the internet. People, just like we saw in the beginning segment, people are bouncing off ideas, bouncing off each other, memeing on each other, creating memes evolve. And one series morphs into one other series, and then memes get made of it, and then more series. It's just the way it works, man. And you can't stop it, dude. If you're posting your incredible, I'm sure you're very happy and proud of your work. You deserve to be, but you have to actually learn to let go, cause it's just gonna keep happening. Look at this guy. Go ahead and make a marker here. Very, very important. This is Joel Haver, Haver. SNL stole my video, and I think this man responds to a very similar, very infuriating situation with a much cooler sense of mind, more mature perspective, and one I hope Jacksfilms, if you're watching this, bro, I hope you are. Maybe you could take a pointer from this guy. Maybe we all can, because people are getting fucking fired up for stuff that's none of their damn business, to be honest. Let's learn.
This past Saturday night, I started to get a lot of comments on one of my videos, and I got tagged in a lot of tweets about how SNL had stolen something from me. And when it comes to these stealing accusations, I always err on the side of coincidence. I think parallel thinking does happen more often than not. So I waited to see the sketch for myself, which they posted later in the night, and I saw it. And it's a Charmin Bears parody where the dad is disapproving of the son who's going to college and doesn't want to do the family business of butt wiping anymore. And he wants to dance instead. And the mom is siding with the dad. And my video was a Charmin Bears parody where the dad is disapproving of the son who's going to college. He doesn't want to be a butt wiping bear anymore, and he wants to dance instead. And the mom sides with the dad.
So it's exactly the same thing. It's literally exactly the same thing. And SNL, everybody know who SNL is. They're huge. They're not just some internet stuff. They're huge.
They're the same blue bears. The dad has the glasses. They're in their house. It was pretty alarming. I was like, wow, this is... usually when these things come up, I'm like, able to see like, oh, it's the same concept, but they took it somewhere different. Or it's similar, but you could give them some leeway. But this one, it was a little weird. I was like, wow, that's very similar. But even then, a couple months ago, I did a video kind of playing on the trope of, hey, dude, he's right behind you. You know, because I wanted to do a video, and I was like, what's a good trope I could play on? And I thought of that one. So I built on that trope naturally. I was like, so how about the first guy's like, dude, he's right behind you. Then he starts saying like, oh, I'm sorry, dude. I shouldn't have been talking about you. I'm an idiot. And then he's right behind himself.
He's right behind himself.
And you know, it was a very natural play on that trope. Like, what's the escalation? And I made this video totally independently. And suddenly I started to get a lot of comments. They're like, Auntie Donna already did this. Auntie Donna. I don't watch Auntie Donna. I've never seen this video in my life. But I looked it up and I'm like, wow, they kind of already did this like 7 years ago. I've always been somebody who feels like the same joke told by two different comics is essentially a different joke. Our deliveries are very different. And, you know, at the end of the day, you can't go researching every idea you think about. The internet is huge.
Yeah, that said the funniest joke that hasn't been done. He's Googling the funniest joke that hasn't been done. And again, here, this guy, he's reacting to a very infuriating and frustrating situation, very mature-like, and he's giving even examples of a time where he's accidentally kind of stepped on those boundaries and lines, and he's owning up to it. And man, I just have a lot of respect for him. I hope that anybody who has to brain cells can really think and just see that you can act one way, or you can create a whole channel and dedicate your life to memeing somebody's existence and kind of being an internet bully.
You can't be like, oh, I have an idea about Charmin bears. Let's like Google every freaking website to make sure it doesn't exist. Like at the end of the day, you just gotta make, especially if you're doing weekly uploads. We have so much content, so much stuff out there that you know, it's inevitable you're gonna overlap. It's inevitable you're gonna do something that's already been done. So when it comes to the Charmin bears thing, there's a lot of coincidences that would have to line up to make it truly a coincidence, but I don't think it was malicious. It was either a subconscious borrowing from somebody on the writer's staff who saw my video, or it was a wild coincidence. My video got enjoyed by a lot of people. It got over 1 million views. I'm happy with it. I think the video turned out great. I like my delivery a lot better.
So he's doing it for the passion, for the you know, for the art, for the experience, for the video. I think he's doing it for the right reasons, and not just to. Well, let's hear from him. Let's hear some more. What more you gotta say, mister?
Like how natural and weird and dry it is versus the SNL delivery, which is they're dancing and it's big and it's louder than life. But if I was still a small creator, which I was for a long time, I could see it rubbing me the wrong way and me being a little more likely to believe they did steal it. And I have to recognize that I'm in a position to not be bothered by it.
And remember, this guy, he seems he's taken the side kind of like Jacksfilms is. He's an OG creator, very old account, very popular, many millions of subs, almost 5 million. Yeah, very, very blessed, Jacksfilms.
Small creator doing weekly uploads, sometimes 2 or 3 uploads a week for years and years. And in that time, I met a lot of other small creators who are really funny, really talented, and many of them are still going to this day making great stuff. And I thought, what a great excuse, what a great opportunity to use this whole situation to just shine some light onto some of them. So that's what I'm gonna do. First up, I have Alex Martins. He's a good friend of mine. Most of these people have become my friend at this point, but I met them first through a mutual appreciation of each other's stuff. But Alex Martins, he does some of the funniest Steven Seagal videos on the internet. I think he's always making his best stuff ever. He's doing a 2D animated series now that's so well done. It's like classic frame-by-frame animation, and he's doing the voices for all the characters, and it's just criminally underviewed.
Stop it, please! Why are you doing this? Oh! What's going on over here?
What the fuck?
Anyone I recommend here, I strongly suggest you check out the videos I recommend, and then if you like what you see, subscribe, check out the rest of their stuff, stick around, support them, because all these people are really hardworking. You know, they never stopped uploading. They're always, you know, pushing their creative boundaries and seeing where they can go next, and I really appreciate that. After that, I recommend Be Back Whenever, my friend Noah. His stuff is always a grab bag, and I think he does some more personal documentary stuff. He just did a really moving video about moving. He was leaving. He was moving out of his state. And, but on top of that, he does some really funny skits and comedy stuff. He just did 2 in a row that were both about roommate initiations, but taken in totally different directions. And they gave me some of the biggest belly laughs I've had lately.
This is your initiation. Go say something like super shitty to that random guy. Something really mean.
We all had to do it.
I had to do it. It was fucking crazy.
Like a Fox Studios. This guy Michael, he's so talented. Like he did some animations in my style that were like really well lit. They had like rim lighting on the characters. I'm like, wow, he went above and beyond. And he also does some live action stuff that is so well shot and edited and really good green screen effects. Most recently, he did an action movie where everyone's the hacker on a team. Like the guy assembles a team and they're all hackers.
Mobius, machines obey his every...
Wait, so you're all just the computer guy?
And then another one he did was how they do small talk in sci-fi movies. That one was really great as well. It was kind of a parody on Attack of the Clones.
I haven't seen you this tense since we battled those Divorian Spanch miners on Kalyogi.
Then Noke Eric is my next recommendation. Noke Eric, when I first...
Alright, that's enough. So the point is made. Jacksfilms drew the short end of the stick. Take it like a man, bro. Keep wearing your pink shirt and doing your stuff. Being a creative, you know. But stop, don't be an internet bully. And I hope you see this man, because and I mean this man right here. This is Joel Haver. Another very old OG here. Not nearly as successful as Jack's here, as Jacksfilms, but I think he's an incredible example for all of us. Give him a follow, give him a like, do whatever you do. The point's been made. Jacksfilms, you drew the short end of the stick. Chill out, bro. If you're on the internet posting your stuff, it's to be expected. It's gonna be memed on, reused, reposted, and done this and that, and you can do your best to get your credit. And I'm not saying people shouldn't get their own credit. But it's just part of using the internet, man. Thanks for being our guest speaker today, Joel. That was Mr. Haver, everybody. Joel Haver. Okay, here we go. YouTubers 2 seconds before doxing someone. That's man caring thing.
I don't like you. Your content is lazy. You're a bully. Well, looks like we're at an impasse here.
Let's watch that again. The audio was kind of wacky.
I don't like you. Your content is lazy. You're a bully. Well, looks like we're at an impasse here.
Resolve the dispute privately like an adult. Right, act like an adult. Or what's the other option? Do the worst thing in this situation by literally doxing someone's home. Okay. To millions of followers. Doxing someone's home to millions of followers, then claim you weren't doxing them. You, quote, just wanted to, quote, then talk, then take no accountability and continue as if nothing happened. Lol. Think they're gonna go with that second option?
Why does it look like you're about to commit a serious crime? I don't know.
See, man, and this is what the internet does, dude. It just memes on everything.